Right, you lot. So a few days ago, I did a video kind of looking at my album of the year and going through my top 100 albums, and I thought, well, the logical thing to do is to milk the series and do the 100 worst albums. And the best is probably controversial. This is going to be even more controversial because a few albums in there that people are not going to like, and you're going to predict it. And I'm going to try and elaborate. I'm going to be genuine with this. Like, I troll a bit with some opinions, but I'm going to be honest with how I feel about these albums. And my top 100 albums. Let's get on with it. So we're going to start with zeros. Now, the zeros are kind of all on the same level, but this is my worst album of all time. John Lennon and Yoko Ono's wedding album. If you don't know what this is John Lennon, who was married to Yoko Ono, and they shout Yoko John in one of the songs. The other one, I don't even want to remember. It's probably the worst thing I've ever heard. The hentai dude. Do I really need to elaborate? I cannot believe I put the hentai dude next to Pimp Butterfly. Look, To Pimp a Butterfly, I just think it's the most overrated album of all time. I think Kendrick is carried by his production in a sense, and he's carried by his kind of message and themes. And look, I get on that front, I get politically, it probably roots for a lot of people, but for me, I just felt the sound was too much, overblown, overbearing, too forced. I felt the songs. There's one where he cries. I just couldn't stand it. The opening song, it's like it feels like I'm in Santa's grotto and I'm waiting to like meet him, and it sounds like waiting room music. And the album really didn't improve. I Look, I'm probably not the right kind of person to understand To Pimp a Butterfly, and that's probably the problem. I think it's way people praise about it. I've given it a 0 in protest. I'll probably give it about a 12. Reality, no joke. All right, Jake Paul's Litmus. Jake Paul did a Christmas album, and well, I think that says everything. Total Xanarchy is probably one of the worst things I've ever heard. Lil Xan is one of the most embarrassing artists I've ever heard. His voice is like degrading. It's eerie. It is one of the worst things. Then we got Coco Melon, Kid Hits, and moving on. Right, Tom Sawyer. I can't believe this is a real musician. Like I'm still questioning how this guy has a career. So Tom Sawyer, like he made the lamest like beat ever, and then just said like anime over it, or like he'd do another song where he just like make some noise and just go like meme or whatever. Like I don't remember. And like Reese was giving him production tips. You know Reese Wiesner. Like when he's giving you production tips, that's a problem. Then we got DJ Khaled, Father of Aslan. I've never given a DJ Khaled album and lyric. It is the most soulless, pandering music. It's not an album, it's a compilation of random crap with the most random list of people you can come up with every time. And DJ Khaled himself does nothing but like pose and say we the best music at the start of all of them, and it's embarrassing. Onision, do I really need to elaborate on that? I mean, Onision is one of the worst things, but it's almost too obvious. Like, this is the problem I find with like these worst things. Like, yeah, Onision Diamond Memes one of the worst albums ever, but like he wanted that. That's why he didn't think that I'm a Banana song was actually good, did he? The kids are coming. I feel like Tones and I. The big issue with Tones and I is her voice. What she puts on. She can actually sing, but that voice she puts on. This album brought us Dance Monkey, and I felt that was a big issue. Then we got Nostalgia Critics The Wall. Every man and the dog has talked about this bloody album. So if you don't know who Nostalgia Critic is, he's a YouTuber, film reviewer who was famous for that guy with the glasses.com. He made Channel Awesome. He had like a bunch of creators. They made like reviews of whatever music, film, you know, theatre, books, whatever. And he basically like there was massive controversy, changed the title, but and one of his running jokes was like he hated the film The Wall based off the Pink Floyd album, so he made a parody out of The Wall where his disses, well, they were embarrassing. His singing was bad at best. His production wasn't even that good. Like it was a bad recreation. I probably could have made a better recreation. I probably couldn't. Well, then we got Trippie Redd Spooky Sounds. I don't know what Trippie Redd was on when he did this. It's just Trippie Redd making a bunch of sounds you would hear in like the Peppa Pig Halloween special, the Teen Titans Go Halloween special. Like it's not the pinnacle of music. Then we got DJ Khaled with Khaled and God Did. I mean, he was the number 2 best music with that one. Then we got Tom McDonald with The Brave. I'll just lump in all the Tom McDonald stuff. It's the most right wing, like forced America, like typical American flags. Like it is just, it's impossible to listen to. They're so predictable. They're so offensive to anyone with a brain. Really, it's just, and the music itself is terrible. His voice is embarrassing. Then we got Lil Yachty with Let's Start Here. I hate that. I can't stand the voice of Lil Yachty. I can't. I can't do it. I just think he is so overrated. Like the production was great. He's a great producer, but get away from the mic. That's what I say. Then we got the Brave 2 and Cocomelon. Okay, Queen's a Night at the Opera. Yeah, probably shouldn't be a 1. I don't really know why that's on there. I'm actually going to replace that with Fiona Apple, which I don't think I included, but Fiona Apple is overrated, man. Her voice, man. She's got, like, the worst vocal range I've ever heard. I don't know if I've rated it yet. And then we got Andre 3000. We waited for a new Andre project, and he just played the flute for half an hour. I don't care. I'm not, like, it. He played the flute. It's not an album. Like, it's embarrassing. Right, then we got It's Hard to Be a Diamond, whatever it's called, by Blood on the Dance Hall. Yeah, they're just terrible. Chance the Rapper's The Big Day is probably one of the worst rap albums I've ever heard. His lyricism is abysmal. He's carried by his production, his writing. This killed the career. Like, have you heard of Chance the Rapper since? Because I haven't. Like, you know what I mean? Then we got R. Kelly, I Admit It. And 6 I'm not even going to explain that. The Rich White Man is one of the most embarrassing acts I've ever heard. Like, you can't take him seriously. And then you've got King Gizzard with Infest the Rats and Net. This didn't work. It was a heavy metal album by King Gizzard, and I didn't mind the other King Gizzard album I heard, but this was terrible. We got Drake Scorpion. I think Drake is the most overrated artist on the planet. I think he's, like, he might have used to been good, but nowadays he's just soulless. It's like, he's literally like the DVD, Disney DVD market. Like, oh, let's just put out as many songs and albums as possible. He beat the algorithm. He's a smart guy. His music is terrible. His singing is embarrassing. God's Plan is one of the worst hits ever. I mean, and then we've got the Burger King View Rules jingle. It's literally the same song 7 times. That's literally all it is. Alright, page 4 now. Try not to give spoilers there. So, we got Radiohead's Kid A. So overrated. I'm not even going to start. Like, it's essentially just sleep. Speeding Bullet to Heaven. Everyone talked about why this didn't work. I don't know what planet Kid Cudi was on. Like, he's done some decent music, but this was not it. Miley and the Dead Pets. I mean, oh my god. Like, if you can come back from this, and this is the thing, Miley Cyrus had a lot of success this year with Endless Summer Vacation and the Flowers song, which couldn't escape radio in the beginning of the year. But you know what? If you can come back from something like Miley and the Dead Pets, that's what I rate about it. Sia's, the music soundtrack, is the most pandering. Don't get me started on Sia music. Basically, she made a film about autism, but she completely misunderstood it, and like there was a whole thing where like there was really bad strobe lighting in it, and like there was restraint scenes that were like illegal, and she just did not understand what autism was at all. And it was not even that. This album, Smosh-tastic. I mean, it is YouTube 2011. Black Eyed Peas Elevation. I can't believe they're still going. To be honest, I mean, this Elevation album was just terrible. Like, they just parodied other songs that were better. I mean, yeah. Fashion Be Late by Falling in Reverse. Falling in Reverse. How can you take them seriously, man? Eminem's Revival has commonly been described as how poor it is because, I mean, the lyricism has got some of his worst production, his tackiest delivery today. It's just, yeah, it's terrible. This Does Not Exist. Lil Darky, whatever he's called, Lil Dicky, like, I don't even care. Lil Darky, I don't get it. I really don't. His art's good, his album covers are cool, but that's the only good thing about Lil Darky. Right, but Silento with Bars Behind Bars. If you don't know Silento, he made the hit Watch Me Whip, Watch Me Nay Nay that you've all heard, and he killed his cousin. I'm not joking, he killed a cousin in 2020, and then he made this album, which wasn't very good, of course. And we got Welcome to the Madhouse by Tones and I mean, one of the worst mainstream albums ever. Certified Lover Boy. I mean, Come on, bro. The Girls Like Girls song, She Says She's a Lesbian, yeah, girl, me too. That deserved it, to be fair. The Swans, To Be Kind. I just think it's the most overrated album ever. Critics bang on about it. I don't get it. I'm not like Anthony Fantano. I do not care if music has like great oh wow synth and like this is real music. I just enjoy stuff that I enjoy. Like I've said, this is subjective, which is why To Pimp a Butterfly's a zero on this. Right, Angelic to the Core. Corey Feldman. I mean, he was an actor. I found out he was in a Jungle Book, the original one. I couldn't believe that. And he did an album, and it was the cover tells you everything. It was terrible. Justin Bieber's Christmas album. I think most acts who do a Christmas album, it never really works, and this one didn't either. Soldier Season. Soldier Boy's lost it, man. He's a one-hit wonder, and he should stay there. Jacob Sartorius is the last text. The key issue with Jacob Sartorius is that he can't sing. The other issue with Jacob Sartorius is that he never got any better as well. Like, you hear someone like Rebecca Black, who was like a meme on the internet for her terrible music. She got better, you know what I mean? Or like the guy that made, what was it? I play Pokemon Go every day. He make good music. Even Jake Paul had Fresh Out of London. That was okay. Or KSI, he made better music. Jacob Sartorius never got better. Then we got Question Mark for XX and of course Rest in Peace, but it's a shit album. Psych by PJ and Duncan. I mean, never was an album not needed to exist more than that. Hulk Rules by Hulk Hogan. You can't take Hulk Hogan seriously. They're embarrassing. J. Cole, 2014, Forest Hills Drive. I think it is one of the most soulless, meaningless, whatever albums I've ever heard. It wants to be Kendrick Lamar so much without it has no identity of its own, and that's my biggest issue. The Money Store by Death Grips. My problem with Death Grips is that you can't bloody understand a word they're saying half the time. Look, I get there's an audience for Death Grips, and I've heard people who like the screaming stuff actually would like this sort of stuff. This is not for me, so I'm giving it an 11. Lil Pump 2, Lil Pump's comeback was not it, unfortunately. I feel like Lil Pump only worked because he was this small SoundCloud rapper. You give him a bigger production, it doesn't work, and his heavy metal tracks showed everything. Big Willie Style, I think Will Smith had another album on there, but I actually found it quite better. This had Get Jiggy with it, and that's about it. Pink Tape by Uzi Vert, I can't stand the sound of this album. I really don't get it. Sean Paul was one of the worst acts in mainstream. He ruins pop songs. He's on that Sia song, Cheap Thrills, and he's on a Clean Bandit song as well. He was embarrassing on both of them. Katy Perry's Witness, I could talk all day about this. Disaster Class. It honestly killed her career. She was not able to recover after Witness. It was such a thing to witness. No pun intended. I mean, she called it purposeful pop. It's soulless. It has no meaning. Her SNL performance, oh my god, it was terrible. This has to be seen to be believed. 23 by Central C. It's the most boring thing I've ever heard. I just want to move on. Then we got Party with Reese. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. But it just isn't. It just wasn't it, was it? Then we got the Gorillaz with Demon Days. The Gorillaz are just such a out act, man. I did not get this. Iggy Azalea, I mean, her whole gimmick is that she tries to sound black when she's white, and it got old very quickly. She was on the Fancy song and was carried by Charlie XCX. It was just the Spice Girls spice is everything you expect it to be, and that's the issue. This new Danny Brown album didn't deliver to me. My problem with Danny Brown is he does these weird voices, he does this weird stuff. I'm not. Hashtag Willpower. I feel like it set itself up for failure when it put a hashtag on its name. There's a song on this album called Ghetto Ghetto where he's going on about the ghetto. It's all serious, and then he gets these kids to go, "It's as easy as 1, 2, 3," and it didn't work. This had the Scream and Shout song with Britney Spears. That didn't work. Embarrassing. Lizzo's Special. I've heard another Lizzo album which I quite liked. This was not it. This was too much. Dreams to whoever wants to hear this. Shock of the Century wasn't good. The big issue with this album is that I actually thought it was worse than the Mask song. I know that's impossible because the Mask song was terrible, but this was so soulless. It felt like it was made by AI. The lyrics, like they seem like they come from some place, but the way Dream delivers, it's so monotone, it's so produced. I can't stand it. Pitbull globalization. You know, Pitbull, like he's not trying to be a Grammy winner, but like, come on, bro. Title by Meghan Trainor. This gave us all about that bass. One of the worst songs of the 2010s, if not ever. Like it's that bad. AJR with OK Orchestra. AJR for me are just one of the most whatever acts. They just are the worst, bro. They just like it's just soulless, emo teen music, and it's just not for me. Jay-Z and R. Kelly. I mean, it's just one of the most polar collabs, and I can't give anything with R. Kelly like too high. A Thousand Suns. This was a low point for Linkin Park. They tried to go for a different aesthetic and a different feel, and I get that some people liked it. I just was really missed their old style, and I think this was their weakest album apart from the Hunting Party, which I think I put the Hunting Party above it actually. Neo Theatre by AJR, it's the same story. 100 Gexes say, guys, yeah, this didn't work. Tyler Creator's Bastard. Look, I just feel because of what Tyler went on to make that this just pales in comparison. I think if Tyler never made another album, I might have given it a 50, but I feel like it's just so nothing. I don't get anything, and this made it worse because Bro Moment, YouTube, remember the beard people? He bought a vinyl for this, and it cost £100. Well, 50 to buy it and 50 shipping. So in total, £100 he spent on Bastard. I don't think any album's worth 100. I wouldn't put like my best albums as worth £100, but you know, I just thought that made it worth. Then we got Tickets to My Downfall. Machine Gun Kelly has no subtlety. He doesn't know anything about metaphor. His delivery's okay. Like I think he's not as bad as some people put. Like some people give this a 0. I don't agree. All the right reasons. Look, Nickelback are a product of their time. They're polarizing. I don't think they're too bad, but yeah, it's bad. For All the Dogs by Drake. For All the Dogs. Look, for me, For All the Dogs was just whatever. I thought Drake was it just sent me to see. It was better. It was an upgrade on his last couple of records, but it wasn't great. Then we got Broadband, Made It Out Alive, my own. Look, I just think Made It Out Alive, I could have done a lot better. You listen back to it, look, it was a stepping stone, but yeah, it wasn't great, was it? Right, then we got Cherry Bomb by Tyler, the Creator. This is the other Tyler I'm not too fond of. I just think my big problem with Cherry Bomb is that it's trying to be experimental. It's just not for me. I get that the sound is for some people. I know Bro Moment, he likes Cherry Bomb quite a bit, but it wasn't for me, Cherry Bomb, it was now. New Age, there was some weak songs on New Age, but then there was some good songs. Slow Motion still looks good. Beerus, of course, it was nowhere near the level of the stimulation all over the place. Monkey Business by the Black Eyed Peas, it like the title is about like it tells you everything it's gonna be really. Then we got Jesus is King. Look, I don't hate Jesus is King. I probably should give it a higher score than it actually is, but he carried by the choir. Like the choir are better than him. And I get this music, like there's a certain audience there. My World by Justin Bieber, I mean it's 16-year-old Justin Bieber. It's everything you'd expect it to be. It's not terrible, but it's just so whatever. Same with Justin Bieber's Freedom. Both albums just don't do anything for me really. Call Me Forget Lost, oh it's also on it. This was another one where like I was so big on Eagle that I think whatever came after Eagle was gonna struggle, but this just went back to like in rapping and stuff, and it just wasn't it for me. They had like that DJ Drama guy. I didn't rate that. It had some good songs. It was definitely better than Bastard or Cherry Bomb, but yeah. H is Close to Home. I mean, like the first song is literally a voice note. Like I feel like that says everything you need to know. Vor by Earl Sweatshirt. My big issue with Earl Sweatshirt is that I feel I've heard a fair few of his albums and he never seems to do anything new or progress musically. It always seems like his lyrics are good, his flow's good, but it always is so basic, stripped. And I guess that is style, but I want to see more improvement from him. 10,000 Gex. It just wasn't on the level of 1,000 Gex. The very best of The Calling. I mean, this is an embarrassing best of album because The Calling are a one-hit wonder. You know one song, maybe two. Let me have kids see ghosts. I do not get this. I do not get why people love it. I think Kid Cudi's voice is terrible. I think the Keep Moving Forward song goes on way too long. I think the song with Free has worse delivery. I think Kanye does nothing on there. I don't get Kids See Ghosts. I do not get the hype there. Please educate me. I want to know what makes it good because I don't get this. All right, final page now, page 3. We won't get all the way to the top on this, but we'll get about halfway there. The Chainsmokers, Mary Do Not Open. Oh, it's just such a whatever album. Then we got the Sex Pistols with Never Mind the Bollocks. Look, the Sex Pistols, like, politically, they had a lot to say. They, like, clearly, it's like Kendrick, they had a good message going there. I get they were a very revolutionary band, but God, the guy cannot sing. He's probably one of the worst. Like, honestly, I'm a better singer than the front man of the Sex Pistols, and I'm not even trying to be big headed there. That's just the truth. Right, the Hunting Party, like, it's just, I forgot everything about it. I couldn't tell you a song from the Hunting Party, and I think that's all. Also, by Post Malone, I really liked the single Chemical, and I was really excited for the album. It disappointed. Tattoos by Jason Derulo. This gave us hits like Wiggle and Trumpets, where like the trumpet sound like a trumpet. It wasn't too bad. Daft Punk's Discovery, I'm just not kind of into that kind of thing. Same with Calvin Harris's Funk Wave. This had the slide song, which was good, but whatever. 4 by One Direction, this really showed like, oh yeah, this is falling apart. Zayn's about to go. Like, it was the low point. Then we got Illuminate. I just didn't get this the style Shawn Mendes went for. The singles are good, but yeah. The Blueprint 3 was a massive disappointment for me because I loved the Blueprint and I loved 4.44, but this was just not it. And the final one on this list is, well, we got 55s here. What's the weakest 55? Probably Ollie Murs, let's be real. Ollie Murs, right place, right time. I mean, he's just like, it's Ollie Murs. Right, so that was my top 100 worst albums. I hope you weren't too pissed off with that video. You probably were. But anyway, we're getting close to December now, so I'm going to be doing of course, my usual kind of end of year tier list, so all the main channel videos and end of year tier list for like bearded people videos, whatever. And I might throw in a Christmas kind of thing, maybe another Christmas cover. We'll see what I do. I think I'm going to do a couple of things. So yeah, I'll see you soon.